My mother-in-law stood in front of me, put her hands on her hips, and said, "You haven't moved yet? Leave soon." I glanced at my watch and replied, unfazed, "Don't worry, it will be gone in an hour." The taxi I had booked arrived, so I gave the envelope to my husband at the end. "What? What's this?" I got into the car while my husband was checking. Then my husband came out in a panic. "Oh, hey. What's going on? I don't want to do this." "What are you talking about? It's all your fault. Take full responsibility and atone for your sins." "My name is Sandra, and I'm a 32-year-old office worker. My husband, Ed, and I have been married for 4 years. Our encounter dates back to our college days. As we did club activities, the distance between us became closer. And before he graduated from college and entered the workforce, he confessed to me and we started dating. After that, we continued our relationship smoothly. As expected of an office worker, he gave me a lot of dates that seemed luxurious for college students. After I became a company employee, he worked very hard. I was very happy to see that he spent money on a date with me. After that, I started to pay and hoped to have an equal relationship. Even so, when he wanted to look masculine, he dared to refrain from paying for it. And we started living together and were preparing for marriage. We had talked about living together once before we got married, and we did. Living together was fun and I was happy. I hope I can continue to enjoy my life like this. With that in mind, I was spending fulfilling days at work and in my private life. And about 2 years after we started living together, he proposed to me, and we got married. We greeted each other's parents, and had both families meet each other. And we had a wedding, and went on our honeymoon. I think it was a blink of an eye after we decided to get married. This is how the newlywed life began. The style is the same as living together, but I was still excited just because I was a newlywed. At first, there was no problem, but about 2 years after we got married, my father-in-law died because of illness. I was very sad because I adored my father-in-law. But I never thought that this would be the beginning of a disaster for me. After the death of my father-in-law, my husband suddenly said that he would live with his mother. And without asking for my permission or opinion. "What? Do we live together with your mom?" "Oh, yes." "Wait a minute, I didn't hear that." "Oh, because I just told you." Such a... Normally, we should talk about it as a married couple. "Why? I've decided to live together, so we don't need to talk about it." It seems that it has already been decided by my husband, and he has already booked a moving company. I never thought that my husband would make such a domineering remark and decide to live together in a way that forced a breakthrough. When it comes to his mother, he is such a mother's boy. His mother is a top priority of everything. In the end, I couldn't refuse and started living together at my parents-in-law's house. To be honest, I didn't like my mother-in-law. This is because my mother-in-law has always been hostile to me. Even at the beginning of our marriage, every time I showed up at my parents-in-law's house, she said terrible things to me. "He knew you when he was a student, so he just got married to you out of compassion. Don't be conceited, the rest of the girls look better than you." That's what he keeps telling me. When my father-in-law was alive, he always warned her. Currently, my mother-in-law is in the wild and talking badly about me. And even after we started living together, she continued to say terrible things to me. I complained about cooking, and I was scolded for not being a full-time housewife even though I was a woman. But I didn't quit my job no matter what I was told. Living with my mother-in-law was often painful. Still, since I married my husband, I thought I had to be with him until the end. However, my husband caused an event that overturned such a serious idea. As soon as I started living together at my parents-in-law's house, my husband and mother-in-law said that they wanted to completely renovate the house. Of course, I don't have the right to give an opinion. So I had no choice but to follow what I was told. The newly completed house was very beautiful, even though it was a renovation. However, my husband had taken out a very high loan for this renovation. I was worried that he would be able to repay, and sure enough, it seems that his salary will not be able to pay it. Or rather, my husband had stopped putting money into the house from a certain time. So I had no choice but to use my salary. I put money in my husband's account to pay monthly loans and living expenses. However, he began to betray me. It's infidelity. He was having an affair hiding from me. The real reason was that he was always working overtime and came home late, because he was meeting with an affair partner. And one day, he said that he wanted to live with an affair partner. It seems that he colluded with my mother-in-law to kick me out. Hey, are you sure? What's going on? Break up with me. My husband said so and confronted me with divorce papers. What? What the hell is going on? I pretended not to know. I have a girlfriend who is important to me. Girlfriend? Oh, unlike you, she's young and cute, lovely. And I want to remarry her, so please break up with me. Oh, that's... I knew he was having an affair, and he was going to push for a divorce from here. I never thought that he would tell me that he was having an affair like this and ask for a divorce. I don't want to be told we're going to get a divorce all of a sudden. I want to live a new life, let me be free. It's a shame to live in a prison like this. Don't make my son suffer anymore. Break up with him soon. My husband and mother-in-law blamed me as if it were my fault. And he has demanded a divorce in order to be with his mistress. Even if you say that, I haven't even found a place to live yet. Don't be selfish. I want to be with her as soon as possible. So, you and your mother-in-law will pay for my moving expenses and arrange a place to move in? If you can't do that, you can talk to a lawyer and file a lawsuit. What? Trial? My husband immediately panicked. Well, if that's the case, I can't help it, I'll give you a little grace. Get out of the house as soon as you can. For the time being, I'll have a little time. But this was my plan. I stayed at home for about a month after that. My husband and mother-in-law are quite irritated and seem to be frustrated that I haven't left yet. And since it seemed that they were about to reach their limit, I told him that I would leave the house tomorrow. Then, my mother-in-law and husband brightened their expressions and said happily, "You're finally leaving." The next day, as I was getting ready to leave the house, the ring rang. My husband happily heads to the front door and opens the door of the house. And my husband came to the living room, but a woman with an affair partner was standing next to him. Didn't you say she was going out today? Why is there still an old woman? I'm sorry, Irene. She is always slow. Unlike you who are young, you're like a turtle. But it's too late. My mother-in-law stood in front of me, put her hands on her hips, and said, "You haven't moved yet?" I glanced at my watch and replied, unfazed, "Don't worry, it will be gone in an hour." A short time later, the mover's truck arrived. "You're finally here. Hurry up and get out of here." My mother-in-law and husband said so with a stunned face as if to throw up. And the two sat on the sofa with their affair partner and started watching TV. An information program is being played with a comedian as the MC, and the husbands are laughing while watching TV. I didn't care about them, so I asked more and more movers to carry my belongings. Movers who move things quickly. And in the blink of an eye, all I had left was TV, sofa, and table. "Please carry it on your own." I said that and asked the staff to carry the TV. The main power is turned off, the cord is unplugged, and the two staff carry out the TV. Then my husband stood up in a panic. "Oh, hey. Don't take the TV without permission. Don't be stupid." Mother-in-law and husband screaming like that. But I instructed the staff not to worry about it. All the furniture and appliances in this house were bought by me, right? So it's only natural for me to take it, right? What? Can you get out of there at once? I'm going to take the sofa and the table with me. When I said that, they turned blue and noticed that the living room was completely empty. "What's this? There's nothing here." "Hey, what are you going to do? It's unforgivable." My husband and mother-in-law were screaming like that, but I didn't do anything wrong. "Are you going to make me say the same thing as before? You're really stupid." "Well, there's no way you can buy so much furniture and appliances in the first place." "What are you talking about? I was the one who covered the living expenses of this house, right?" "What are you talking about? Don't lie. You covered it all with my earnings. Your salary is $2,000 in take-home pay?" "Huh? $2,000? You didn't even know how much money you were making." "What do you mean by $2,000? You said you were rich." "There's something wrong. I'm making about $1 million a month, right? Haven't you seen your pay stub? That's because I've left the management of the household budget to you. You didn't put any money in the house, did you?" "What? I thought it was after you had already withdrawn the living expenses from my account." I was completely stunned by my husband. "I can't do that. You used your entire salary for yourself." "Well, it's mostly for the sake of your affair partner." My husband shuts up at my remarks. "I've always been dedicated to my work. You used to call playing with your mistress overtime and come home late at night. In that time, I got a lot of qualifications and got raises and promotions. That's why I'm paid a lot more than you now." Such a thing. It seems that my mother-in-law, not to mention my husband, did not think that they were supported by my earnings. Well, then. What's going to happen to the mortgage on this house? Of course, Ed will pay out of the $2,000. What? Well, how much is a loan? Oh, you didn't know that and lived in this house? Oh, you're noisy. I could live without knowing that. I didn't care because I thought Thurman was paying for it. Well, I don't care. The loan on this house is $1,200 a month. Huh, $1,200? My husband and mother-in-law were screaming. Wait a minute. So, if we pay the loan from his earnings, we'll only have $800 left. Yes, that's right. It's impossible to pay for the living expenses of 3 adults on top of that. You will never be able to afford luxury. When I said that, my affair partner exclaimed, "Oh, I don't like that. Irene? I've heard that I can have luxury, so I decided to remarry you. But what is $800 at your disposal? I'm not on the same level as a high school student who works part-time. What's more, you have to buy new furniture and home appliances with that little take-home pay, right? It's absolutely impossible. It's ruining my plans. Suppose we were never remarried." What? Wait a minute. I'm going home. Saying that, she left the house. My husband and mother-in-law were screaming because they had no partner. My new life. My husband falls into shock on the spot. But that doesn't matter to me. The taxi I had booked arrived, so I gave the envelope to my husband at the end. What? What's this? I got into the car while my husband was checking. Then my husband came out in a panic. "Oh, hey. I don't want to do this." "What are you talking about? It's all your own faults. Take full responsibility and atone for your sins." I opened the window a little and said back, and he froze with a pale face. I asked the taxi driver to take the car out. I gave my husband a document in which 2 women asked him to acknowledge their children. In fact, my husband has been on a short solo assignment twice. Both times he had an affair. Moreover, he pretended to be single and dated 2 women and made both of them pregnant. And when he was pressed to take responsibility and marry them, he disappeared from their eyes when he offered to stop working alone at the company. I asked the investigating office to search and found out the whereabouts of the 2 women. That's why I stayed for about a month even when he told me to leave the house. The reason was to wait for the results of the survey. And since I was able to find out where they were, I suggested that they seek recognition and child support for him. It was just a suggestion, but they decided to seek recognition and child support. I had made sure that the document had arrived at the house and had hidden it to give to my husband when I left the house. Although it was a little disappointing that I couldn't see his face when he looked at the documents. Still, he must have been quite surprised by the way he hurriedly chased the taxi. Well, from my husband's point of view, it will be a very painful situation, so it is understandable to be impatient. He won't be able to recover from this. His affair partner ran away from him, and he was charged child support by a woman who had a relationship with him in the past. And he will be charged alimony. On top of that, paying the mortgage on the house is something that cannot be done with his salary. But you have to pay for everything, and you can't run away. I divorced him through a lawyer and demanded alimony from him and his affair partner. If they fall behind on payment even slightly, their salary will be garnished. It seems that my ex-husband had no choice but to sell the house and start living in a cheap apartment with his mother-in-law. Even so, he was unable to pay the mortgage on his house and his debt increased. Currently, in addition to working for a company, he works part-time and works hard every day. Also, it seems that my mother-in-law has gone to work and the 2 of them are paying off the debt. But at this rate, my ex-husband's life won't get any easier until he reaches retirement age. It's a really good feeling, and it's all self-inflicted. On the other hand, I'm still working in the comfort of my new room. I'm not going to be in love for a while, so I'm going to keep working hard and aim for even better. I would like to find a new hobby and have a fulfilling life.